All right, let's get going here, and let's do our run here towards MacAskill. So again, just up on an elevated grade again, and this is going to be very commonplace as we head towards MacAskill Station. Another culvert here. Again, just so many embankments, right? That and again, we're in you know, these are all sort of tributaries here, and so this one is 113.70, all little tributaries, and they're all going to flow down to Polly Creek, or I think they're all going to Polly Creek, and then Polly Creek goes to Polly Lake, and Polly Lake goes to eventually into Lake Helen, which is formed by the Nipigon River. Here you can actually see the original parts of the original culvert that were over there. So you can see two big chunks of concrete, segmented concrete culvert here that were pulled out from underneath the grade. They look like they're 5 footers or so, maybe. Very common to see them dumped on the side of the grade. Here you can see a piece of telegraph pole. So here we kind of, the embankment kind of drops off a little bit. And just to give you an idea, so if we backtrack a little bit, there's lots of benchmarks on here. Okay, I was just trying to see things kind of, the grade's actually not too bad in here, because there's a benchmark back in the curve that's 747. So 747 feet above sea level. And then up the other side of MacAskill, it's 744, so it's actually not bad. So here we're going through another small little rock cut. You can see maybe, I don't know, 8-9 feet. I don't know. Always terrible at guesstimating the height. So then somewhere over here, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to be milepost 114. I've looked for it, haven't been able to find it. I'm guessing it's just completely gone, because I don't see any trace of it at all. Just I comment on this a lot, that it's just it's so funny how random that is, that certain ones are left and certain ones are taken. Like you know, I don't know if that was done on purpose, or you know, if it was just, it turned out to be sort of a random thing. Because I don't see any trace of it. If it's on the ground, again, you would literally need to step on it to see it. Because here we have a culvert, so we have to kind of use the culverts as the mileage markers. The milepost markers are a little more interesting to look at. So this one is 114.08. So again, we're back up into this situation where we're getting some little ravines. The sun looked like it was going to pop out. It's clouded over again, which is okay. It's still rather chilly. My toes are cold. Okay, let's zip you ahead a little bit here. So here we have a culvert. There's no marker on this culvert. Whoa, that wasn't cool. But what we have, and you can actually see it across there, you can actually see the pieces of the original segmented concrete culvert. It looks like maybe about a 3-footer. So you can actually see 1, 2, and there's a third one in the back there that made up the culvert for this small little creek. Okay, so let's just truck ahead right up here. And the reason we're going to go right to here, and we're going to stop right here. So this is the beginning of the siding here at MacAskill, and you can actually see the grades start to widen out here. So what we're going to do, we're going to hold up here for a second, and then we'll start working our way through the siding. Okay, let's get going again here. So again, here's the start of the siding here at MacAskill. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the story of this station once we get a little bit further up. It is quite convoluted. There's quite the story to this place. Simply just a lot of it just due to the name changes, and a lot of it had to do with kind of the evolving nature of what was going on in this area. So we can actually dip over here onto the siding. I don't know if I can ride over here. Looks like it's pretty. There's spots here where you can actually see the indentations from the ties still. MacAskill managed to hang on to its siding for quite a number of years. Again, I'll have a full sort of explanation for you once we get a little bit further up. So here you can see a little bit better those indentations. There's some better spots. Right here. Right here you can really see them. Right? You can actually see my boots in there. Right? So you can see all the indentations from where the ties were. Right in through here. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Right in through here. Okay, so now we're starting this curve. So we're kind of leaving our westerly direction here. And again, the siding just continues beside us here. You can, if it wasn't for all the vegetation there, you'd see the indentations from the ties quite clearly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll zip you ahead a little bit until we get to where the oh, there's a grouse right in the middle of the, looks like a big one too. Does Luna see it? She's been chasing them all morning. There she goes. And there goes the partridge. All right, so this is where it curves again and straightens out. Again, the siding is just right beside us. And then here, just up here, we get into kind of a bit of a sort of swampy area. This right here is sort of would have been the location of the station itself. I guess where the you know, the exact mileage would have been located somewhere in this area here. So you can see we start getting into a bit of a swampy area here, and we do have kind of a little neat feature coming up a little further ahead. Again, the siding is just right beside us here on the south side of the grade. You can see all this wonderful work that the beaver has done. Okay, so let's stop here for a second and let me grab my Coles notes. Lena's gonna go have a drink. Some yummy swamp water. Okay, so I got to use my notes for this because there's a lot going on with this station. Like, it's just it's kind of crazy. Especially the name changes that this went through. All right, so here, before we get going here, you can still see the indentations from the ties. All right, so this station, when it was originally, when they were actually building the railway, this was supposed to be called Conmy Station, and I'm guessing Conmy was supposed to be named after James Conmy. James Conmy was a local area politician based out of Port Arthur. Very affluent, very well-known politician. Been involved with a lot of railway projects. Probably very well known. Here you can see more of the indentations from the ties. Very well known to probably people like Mackenzie and Mann. So before the line was built, the name was changed. And so the name, when the line opened, was known as Cronyn. And being the history guy that I am, you know, you always kind of want to try to delve into the, you know, the history of the name. Like, where did Cronyn come from, right? Like, it's not like a geographical place or anything. So what I was able to dig up, and I don't know if this is the real story, but it sort of makes logical sense to me, that it could have been named after a guy named Hume Cronyn Sr. And so Hume Cronyn Sr. Was actually a political figure and a businessman at the time. And I'm guessing that Cronyn had connections to Mackenzie and Mann, or at least known to them. And certainly they may have named a station after him. Here there's a culvert going underneath. You can see the culvert over on this side. So there's the culvert over there. And you can always tell where there's a culvert and when the beavers, where beavers are involved. There you can see the beaver lodge. And you can see that, you know, all this work the beaver's done to plug this culvert up. So what's interesting about Cronyn is his son actually became a very well-known actor. So Hume Cronyn Jr. Some people might recognize the name. Now, the name Cronyn only lasted for a few years because in 1919, this station was renamed Cameron Falls. And they renamed it Cameron Falls because basically it was used as sort of a jumping off point for the hydroelectric project of the same name that was being built on the Nipigon River. Sorry, I'm just trying to read my notes here. And then in 1939, it was renamed MacAskill when the name Cameron Falls was shifted to the station just to the west, which for many years had been named Hydro. So again, just a sort of back and forth in terms of the in terms of its naming. The siding here stuck around until the late 80s. Probably pulled up around 88, 89, somewhere around there. The station itself remained on the line, I believe, just before 2005. So just before the line was pulled up, the station was removed, but it remained a station on the line for quite a number of years. Now, what's really interesting about this location, other than all the name changes from Cronyn to Cronyn to Cameron Falls, and then to MacAskill. And what I'll do is I'll before we go any further, I'll show you up a bunch of timetables here so you can see the progression of the names. So, as I mentioned, what's interesting about MacAskill here is it's actually one of the few places on the line that still has a structure associated with it. And so you can see just up here, so here you can see the beaver going from one side of the grade to the other. So as up to a few, like the last time I was here, there was actually a big tree right here that was kind of blocking the view of this structure. Not quite sure what happened to it. Here you can see some remains here. You can see some barrels, and you can see ties. It looks like a piece of a telegraph pole there. So a bunch of debris kind of hanging around. And then we have this structure over here. Now what's interesting, and I'm going to show this, so on my CN profile map, it shows this as a motor car shed, right? And so basically one of the, the motor cars that they used to patrol the line. This is not a motor car shed. So what's happened is the motor car shed was basically replaced with some sort of tool shed, I'm guessing. Take my helmet off here. So you can basically see it's a very small structure. It's, I don't know, is that 8 feet? Maybe 10 by 10? I don't know. So when you open up the door and you go inside, basically this is what you see. It's got the very dank smell to it. It's kind of a bench across the back there. It's got that very old wood smell to it. So I'm guessing this is, ooh, a terrible smell. I'm guessing this was some sort of tool shed or something like that. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna jump back up on the bike here. We're almost at our destination. So the road that we came in on is just up ahead.